Hey everyone, it's Megan Snow with Mediocre Mama. I wanted to try throwing up a short here and get a poll. I want to know, do you ever try to force fun? And if you find that you can still have a good time or not. What I'm saying is, my husband and I love to take our kids places, but that does not mean we love their behavior everywhere. Sometimes, of course, they're awesome, sometimes not so awesome, especially over the holidays. We certainly wanted to try to get more activities in, but the holidays are already so exciting and the kids get kind of overwhelmed feeling, and then maybe the behavior's not great. Or things like going and seeing the lights means that they have to stay up later. It's usually not a problem, it's super fun. But the next day, they might be crankier because they lost a little bit of sleep, or they loved whatever it was that we did so much that they don't understand why we're not doing it again, and the next day is just like not lousy but less stimulating, and they're like still coming down from whatever the activity was the night before, day before, so on and so forth. Tell me how you guys structure your week, like Monday through Friday. Kids get home from school, say like 3:30. We have gymnastics one night. In the past, we've had other activities. But do you operate on after school, snack, homework, going out and doing stuff, or come home, your activities, dinner, and it's homework and you're kind of in the house all week? Does that make sense? Like Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. If you don't have to leave the house after the school time and the kids are home, do you? Obviously, if you have them in activities, the more you have them in activities and they're signed up for, the more likely you're going to have to leave. So that's not talking about the person who has kids in like 12 different things. Just like one or two. I'm just curious. It's a topic in my house of debate, is like how many activities with 3+ kids is too much. As a parent, or as the parents, myself and my husband, some weeks in the winter it's nice to stay home for us because it's it's cold and it's dark. But like in the summer when it's longer days, like we have more energy and mojo to go out and do things like get an ice cream. But in the wintertime, I personally find it very challenging to leave the house once I'm home, probably because of getting dark and being cold. But I'm really curious. The other question I have is that, trying to think how I want to phrase this specifically, but like, let's say you want to do something. I'm going to pick something arbitrary, Crayola Factory. Let's say you're like, oh yeah, this Saturday we're going to go to the Crayola Factory, and you have done your bags, they're packed, you haven't told the kids because you never do that. You never tell the kids anything until it's about to happen. Otherwise, if something messes up what you're doing, you're going down. It is not a good move. As a parent, hold that information until right before, when you know it's imminently going to happen. So that was just my quick little tip. Learn that the hard way plenty of times. But do you guys try to, we call it forcing fun in our house, like when you have something like, oh, we're going to the Crayola Factory, and in your mind as the parent, you idealize how the day is going to go. You're picturing your kids, smiling, making crayons, doing their crafts, looking at the museum. I really hope this place I'm talking about is still open, because I haven't been there since before the pandemic, and I really love the Crayola Factory. Side note. But back to what I'm saying. What happens and what do you do when it all starts going for caca? It's just, the car ride's not good, kids are crying, kids are crabby, they're fighting. Do you abort, return home? Do you just try to make the best of it? That's usually what I do. I try to find a way to maybe divide up our kids, like where one of us takes two, the other one takes one. Whichever are the two more well-behaved kids, that goes with the more relaxed, whoever are the two more well-behaved ones goes with the more frustrated parent, or the more relaxed one gets the tougher one. That's usually how we operate. But we find, whether we're on activities out like the zoo, or if we're here at home doing family game night, if one or two of the kids, starts acting up or does start having a problem, we find divide and conquer works best. But then we feel like our family's sometimes separated a little bit, and we love to have our family together. But when you get all the personalities together, clashing starts happening, especially when you have very similar personalities or very diverse ones. So some weeks, I guess when behavior's not so hot, we feel like my husband and I are like, passing ships because we're dividing and conquering. That's how we can keep the atmosphere most controlled without having to, elevate our language and to increase discipline. But when we're like out and about, you just drove, maybe an hour or more, or maybe a whole weekend trip, and it's just not going the way you planned. I want to hear other ways that you guys can handle those situations. What do you do? Do you cut it short? Do you, like sometimes for us, like a lot of activities happen around nap time. We've tried skipping that, and sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's a disaster. Sometimes if we skip nap, we'll just go to bed early. I'm talking about the kids. Well, me too, to be honest. But how in those events, the forcing fun events, family vacations, whatever, let me know what you're doing. I really would appreciate it for me, as well as I kind of want to take this topic one step further, maybe even 2 steps further as the weeks go on, but I kind of want to hear what kind of audience am I talking to. Do I have a bunch of moms currently following me that are like, my kid does art chess club, Girl Scouts, basketball, and field hockey, like everything? Or am I talking to mostly moms, maybe a little more my caliber, a little more my speed, where it's like a one activity per kid thing, at least at this point, till we know what they're really interested in? Or are you guys pretty much housebound, like your kids only get out of the house when they go to school or, family birthday parties? I want to know, because sometimes I feel like I keep our family at home a lot more, not just since the pandemic, but it's a more controlled environment. But what do other toddler moms? Like I said, we have 4 kids. Our oldest, she's out of the house, and she's doing absolutely wonderful for herself. But the 3 younger ones, we have a kindergarten, we have a 4-year-old, and then we have a 20-month-old. So we are on the younger side. So I want to get this advice, as well as I kind of want to see who am I talking to. Most the mamas following me are your kids older, are your kids younger? Are we blended families like us? Let me know. I really want to get a dialogue open up here. All right. Sorry if I was kind of rambling. This was kind of a fun one for me. I wanted to hold this a little more conversational, since I'm talking about asking for advice versus me giving advice. But no matter what, whether you cut these activities that are forced fun short, make the best of them, maybe change them halfway, or maybe you're the family that doesn't go anywhere because of whatever your reasons are. Either way, your family's fine. You're doing fine. Whatever you're doing, as long as your kids are feeling love and attention from you, it's okay, whatever your schedule looks like. The rest of this video is really just for some personal research. So check me out on YouTube, click subscribe, Mediocre Mama. Head over to any of my other social medias, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.